Imagine walking into a place where everyone assumes you don't belong, just because of how you look. This isn't fiction. This is the real story of a man judged by his skin, age, and clothes, and how he changed the room with nothing but truth. Welcome to Moral Mirror. Let's reflect. Underscore. It was a golden Saturday morning at Regal Motors, the most exclusive luxury car showroom in the city. The kind of place where a cup of coffee cost more than most people's lunch, and the staff wore tailored suits that looked straight out of fashion magazines. Inside, sales reps stood in front of rows of pristine Bentleys, BMWs, and Rolls-Royces, each with a plastic smile ready for high-profile clients. Then the doors slid open, and in walked a black older man, maybe late 60s, salt and pepper beard, deep-set eyes, and a soft, almost thoughtful expression. He wore a faded gray jacket, creased trousers, and simple black shoes. He wasn't flashy. No Rolex. No loud entrance. Just calm curiosity. He slowly walked around the showroom, examining each car with genuine admiration. He ran his fingers along the curves of a silver Mercedes AMG and smiled quietly. But the staff? They barely noticed him. Well, that's not entirely true. They did notice, but not in the way you might hope. From across the floor, two salesmen exchanged a smirk. Looks like someone wandered in from the street. One muttered under his breath. Another snorted. He probably just wants the free AC. No one greeted him. No one offered him water. No one even asked if he needed help. To them, he wasn't a customer. He was invisible, except for Jordan, a young intern standing near the coffee counter. He noticed a man pause near a sleek black Maybach. The older gentleman tilted his head, then reached into his jacket and pulled out a notebook. Jordan watched, puzzled, as the man scribbled something down. He was inspecting specs, like he knew what he was doing. Still, no one approached him. Why? Because he didn't fit the image they'd built in their heads. Luxury buyers don't wear creased jackets. They don't carry notebooks. And, let's be honest, many of them didn't expect a black older man to be able to afford anything here. What they didn't know was that their assumptions were about to age like milk. After nearly 20 minutes of browsing, uninterrupted, unsupervised, the older man walked toward the front desk. A senior salesman named Rajiv, known for closing high-end deals, raised an eyebrow as the man approached. Reluctantly, he put down his tablet and gave a forced smile. "Sir, can I help you?" The man replied politely. "Yes, I'm interested in the AMG GT63 and the Maybach S-Class. Could you share the full specifications, including engine variants and color customization options?" Rajiv blinked. He hadn't expected that. "Sir, those are our top-range vehicles," he said slowly. "Maybe you'd like to see something a bit more." He stopped short, trying to phrase it delicately. "Budget-friendly?" The older man didn't flinch. He just smiled. "That won't be necessary." "All right," Rajiv said, already impatient. "For full specs and customization, we need a pre-booking amount of 5 Indian rupees like up front. We don't typically go through details without commitment." It was a lie, but one they told people they didn't want to deal with. Before the man could respond, Rajiv added, "Also, sir, these vehicles come with a long wait list. We usually deal with corporate buyers, CEOs, or established clients." That was the last straw for Jordan. He walked over, apologizing politely. "Sir, I can show you the customization booklets and interior samples." The older man looked at him warmly. "Thank you, young man." But Rajiv stepped in again. "Jordan, it's all right. Let's not waste time. We have 2 real clients coming in at noon." Jordan looked shocked, but the old man chuckled softly. "You think I'm not a real client?" No one answered. He took a breath, and what he said next changed the air in the room. "Call Mr. Shetty, the regional head. Tell him Mr. Munsa stopped by." Rajiv froze. So did the receptionist behind him. You see, Munsa wasn't just a name. He was the name. The name Mr. Munsa hit the air like a thunderclap. For a moment, no one moved. Then, the receptionist's eyes widened. She tapped quickly on her screen, whispering, "Sir, Munsa is in. Kwaiko Munsa." The older man gave a small nod. "Yes, but I prefer to visit unannounced." Rajiv's confidence evaporated. His voice cracked. "Wait, you're the Mr. Munsa? The CEO of Regal Group, the older man finished calmly. Which owns this showroom, the 7 others in this region, and the German car import license you used to get these vehicles. Silence. Even the customers who were browsing nearby looked over, sensing something serious had just happened. Jordan, the intern, took a step back, unsure what to do, but Mr. Munsaw turned to him. "What's your name, son?" "Jordan, sir. Thank you for treating me like a human being." Jordan smiled nervously. Munsaw turned back to Rajiv and said, not angrily, but clearly, "I came here today not to shop, but to observe. Every few months, I randomly visit one of my showrooms, without announcement, without bodyguards, and without suits, to see how my staff treats people who don't look like buyers." He let those words hang in the air. "And today," he continued, "I learned a lot." A regional manager came rushing in moments later, having received the receptionist call. His face went pale the moment he saw Munsaw. He bowed slightly, stuttering apologies. "Sir, I deeply regret." Munsaw held up a hand. "Save it. What's done is done. The question is, will it be corrected?" He paused, then turned to Rajiv. "You judge me based on my clothes, my age, and my skin. Not once did you ask about my intent. That's not salesmanship. That's arrogance wrapped in a suit." Rajiv stood speechless, sweat beading on his forehead. Mr. Munsaw looked over the showroom one last time. "You all sell luxury, but you've forgotten how to treat people with dignity." After the confrontation, the tone in the showroom shifted dramatically. Rajiv, once the arrogant top seller, now looked like a deflated balloon. And the others who had laughed earlier? They couldn't meet Munsaw's eyes. The regional manager offered him VIP seating, refreshments, and even called in the brand's national rep to apologize. But Munsaw politely declined. "I'm not here for pampering," he said. "I'm here for culture. And what I saw was culture broken." He gestured to Jordan. "This young man is the only person here who didn't assume my worth. That's leadership potential." Jordan's jaw nearly dropped. "Sir," Munsaw smiled, "report to my main office next Monday. You'll be starting a mentorship under my executive team." Everyone looked shocked. Rajiv's eyes widened. "But he's just an intern. He's barely been here 3 months. "Exactly," Munsaw replied. 3 months, and already more human than the rest of you." He turned to the staff and continued. "When I was a young man in Ghana, I worked washing the windows of luxury hotels I couldn't afford to enter. I promised myself, if I ever had the power to build something bigger, I would never let ego replace empathy." The room was quiet. You could hear the hum of the air conditioner. The once busy showroom now stood still, like a paused moment in time. "Luxury isn't about the price tag," Munsaw said finally. "It's about respect." With that, he thanked Jordan again, gave a courteous nod to the manager, and walked out, just as quietly as he came in. But no one would forget his presence. The aftermath of that visit shook the entire dealership chain. Within 48 hours, Rajiv was suspended pending review. A new policy was rolled out. Every guest is a client until proven otherwise. All employees had to undergo inclusivity and empathy training, including top sellers. And Jordan? He went from intern to management trainee, personally mentored by Mr. Munsaw for the next year. The story made headlines in the business world. CEO poses as regular customer, exposes bias in his own company. But for Mr. Munsaw, it wasn't about headlines. It was about the reminder. "We are not judged by how we treat our superiors," he once said in an interview. "We are judged by how we treat those we think are beneath us." Jordan later said that working with Mr. Munsaw changed his life, not just because of the opportunity, but because of what he learned about humility, legacy, and strength without shouting. He didn't raise his voice once, Jordan recalled, but the silence he left behind said everything. Sometimes the most powerful people don't walk in with bodyguards. They walk in with dignity. And sometimes the people we ignore are the ones who hold the keys to our future. You've been watching Moral Mirror. Subscribe for more stories that reflect real values in an image-driven world. See you in the next one. Sparkles.